What's up, everybody? I'm Mr. Glasgow. This is Mr. Glasgow TV. It is Thursday, September 14th, 2017. Happy birthday to my sister. That's why I'm a little late. Had dinner and all that. But we're gonna play some Divinity. Original Sin 2. I haven't played the first one. The game seems to have just like all around good reviews regardless. I've been looking for a kind of adventure-y strategy turn-based game to get into, and I'm thinking this is gonna be it. And the fact that it has co-op and great reviews and all that is a plus. So I'm gonna get into it here. Let's just... Oh. Maybe it's because it's the first time I'm opening it. Hope everyone's having an awesome Thursday. Mine was pretty relaxed. Not sure what kind of character I'm going for. Support us with your feedback by agreeing to the system information you get to follow these. Gather statistics. We set over internet stage. No thanks. Okay. Divinity, Original Sin 2. No intro movie? Come on. What's up with that? Profile. Create. MrGlasco, of course. Story. Game Master. That's my... single player, multiplayer. Is this something I want to I can change later? Because if I want to play single player, but then like have the ability to have multiple, you know, players drop in and out. Maybe single player for now. Explorer mode, classic mode, tactician mode, honor mode. All I have to go off of the pictures of what these all mean. Guessing classic? Classic Divinity experience. You'll need your wits about you both in and out of combat. Okay, let's see what explorers. We prefer story and exploration over being challenged in combat. This is the difficulty for you. Tactician. Foes you'll meet will be cunning and relentless. They'll bombard you with nasty tricks and surprises that explorers and classic modes don't feature. Not for the faint of heart. Fair is not an option. It pawns up the stakes by adding a single save game to the already highly challenging tactician mode. Your entire party perishes, the save game will be erased, and your quest will be well and truly over. No thanks. Classic. We'll probably get the video now if there is one. No? Alright. Character creation. Welcome to the character creation screen. You'll be select an origin character. Create a custom hero. Okay. Origin. Fancy. Dwarf. Elf. Human. Lizard. Undead dwarf. Whoa. Undead elf. Undead human. Undead lizard. Beast. Origin characters have rich personal background stories that allow you to experience the full extent of the Divinity original sin 2. Like something something. So as opposed to creating my custom character, it's good. I want some story to go with some of these. What's this guy? The Red Prince. Does he hiss too when he talks? What's that from? It's from something. Background. Elf. Dwarf. Elf. Lizard. Beast. Oh, you can listen to their origin story. What happened? So which one are heroes and which one are custom?
She's thinking about someone I used to know. My cousin. The Queen, in fact. A tyrant. I tried to stop her, but things don't always go according to plan. She cast me out to a forgotten island, and made short work of my allies, too. Lucky for me, I was able to commandeer a ship, and began a new life for myself, out on the high seas. Aye, but I hear that the Queen is at it again. And there's something darker behind her madcap schemes this time. If I don't stop her, I don't know who will.
I will. Duh. Who's this?
Oh, don't stare. How would you look after eons in some ghastly crypt? Your people are rather prone to death. Mine are not. Yet when I emerged from my completely unjustified imprisonment, I found them gone. Our culture forgotten. Any trace of the world I knew all but obliterated. I must even hide my true face beneath an ever-shifting mask for fear you savages will attack me. That is how I wander this strange world. Trying to uncover the truth about a history you primitive people never even knew existed.
Where's my tiny violin for this guy? Fine. Any
Once
day.
I was a crusader for the Divine Order. I pledged my life to Lucian the Divine. The war changed everything. He sent me to save the elves I grew up amongst. I arrived too late. Lucian ordered the use of death fog against the Black Ring, annihilating everyone I once knew in the process. Now I'm a mercenary killer, one of the infamous Lone Wolves. And my next target is none other than Lucian's own son.
Okay.
All my life, I've been a performer, a musician, beloved and celebrated by all. But I have a secret. I'm also a playground for sprites and spirits and... worse. The voice that rings inside me now is darker than any that came before. Almost caused a bunch of my fans to rip each other to pieces. But you can trust me. I've got this under control. Step 1. Find out who, or what, is trying to take control of my mind. Step 2. Make it sorry it ever tried.
Interesting. It's an interesting story. Inner demons and all that. Happy-go-lucky otherwise.
Famed, of course, for my unique red skin and unparalleled skills as a general of the House of War, I, the Red Prince, was raised within the vast palaces of the fabled Forbidden City. I was destined to become the next emperor. But my ambitions suffered a bit of a setback when I fell from grace for cavorting with demons. Now, I'm exiled and hunted by assassins. But I assure you, I remain undaunted and as determined as ever to claim my rightful throne.
Undaunted.
I used to be a slave, kept under the thumb of the master, the bastard that made me hunt down my own kin. How did he do that, you ask? With the living scar you see on my cheek, this horror that takes no more than a song sung by Master Dearest to control my very thoughts. But now the tables have turned. I broke my shackles, and when I finally find him, I will make the Master sing a very different kind of song.
Nice. Revenge against the Master. Get it? I think these are the custom ones. Let's see, whose story would I be more interested in? Is this the one? Musician, performer, star, whose all manner disembodied visitors. You know, the dark voice silences them all and aims to claim her body for itself. I feel like she has the most interesting kind of story. That's what we got. We got some kind of exiled dude. He'd probably be my second choice. Got some kind of emo prince. This guy's like the standard soldier just following orders. This guy's another kind of prince, deals with demons. And we got Revenge Elf. Or I can go custom. I kinda wanna get story. Heavy Beast. Talent. Petrifying Touch. Turns nearby target to stone. Incapacitates it. Deals 4 to 5 earth damage. Removes bleeding. Poison and crippled. 5 for 1 turn. Resist magic armor. Blinding squall. A storm approaches and strong winds arise. They blind deal 8 to 9 air damage to characters in the target area. Set blind for 1 turn. Sturdy. Gives 10% maximum vitality. 10% dodge. Dwarven Guile gives you 1 sneaking. Oh, here we go. King touch. Cleric. His eyes or smashes his skulls depending on the direction the winds. Conjurer, Enchanter, Fighter. Inquisitor, Knight. Ranger, Rogue. Thinking Fighter. Smash weapon to the ground, knock down non-ally characters in front of you, hitting them for 23 to 25 physical damage. Also clears on non-cursed surfaces and so clears non-cursed surfaces and clouds. Hit that weapon once a turn. Resist physical armor. Throw your shield at an enemy dealing any damage and okay, provides fortify. Let's go with this guy. I could do a custom one. Since this one's single player, I think I'll go with this one, and then depending on how multiplayer works, I'll do a custom one for that. No. Can change the appearance? Okay. So this way he'll be custom-ish. That baby face. You need some character in there. You're going bald. The little afro's kind of interesting look. Hair color. Char. Facial features. He's just like a little man. I like this fits the hairstyle. Voice. Warrior. Preset. Fighter. Talent. Opportunist gives you the ability to perform attacks of opportunity. I mean, that was the base. Sure, why not? Let's just keep it. Tags? Call you savage and animal. They don't know what it's like. Need to fight tooth and claw just to survive. You do. Noble. Born to riches and luxury, you have an aristocratic breeding, eloquent speech, finest manners. Trade in order, obedience, warfare, you know the difference between lantern and lieutenant. Scholar. Instruments. Origin instrument will take the lead in the music during the fights. Response. What? To the cello? Cello? Can I customize this? Okay. Here we go.
It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared and sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead I became part of their story.
Divinity Original Sin 2. That me?
A new dawn, a new day. Now, to get control of this barge before sundown.
No marks, no indications of a storm.
There's a click on the ground, hold left mouse button continuously.
Nothing left to do, really.
Spin by mod, dragging, rotate, camera zoom, eye rolling. Can I open these? Anything else I should be looking at?
What a well of knowledge this tome is. Dallas is such
On
a
3
dear
gold.
lending it to me.
Small tome, 3 books or notes, open your inventory, interact with the object. Inventory. This is your inventory. Everything you pick in the store here, press the right mouse button on an object in your inventory. You can do with them. Okay. Read. We have too long presume source. Our presumed source as a various part of civil society, yet we need look no further into the past than the source king reign and to understand the havoc such magics may wreak. One day another order must follow in the source hunter's footsteps. Sorcerer's kin must be muted. A new model of source collars provided by Reedman is proving most effective. Okay. Camera free. You can look around freely using arrow keys to enter. Press home or double click party member. Portrait. Empty bottle. I'm guessing gonna be useful.
Ah, you're up. Yes. Looks like that collar fits you snugly enough. Nice bit of work, even if I do say so myself.
What up?
Did the murderer take him into this room? There. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and he's the chap in charge of the logs.
Okay.
You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters.
Pull at the thing around your neck futilely. And know how she called you. Noble. Now that you're up, you'd like to bathe and dine. Tell her to ring for the servants. Take my leave. Let me pull at the collar.
Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those source spells of yours? See what happens.
Call the power drain inside you, the soaring winds, roaring seas, unleash it.
Currents of magic surge inside you, boiling, bursting, then breaking, only to fade back into your soul like rain into the earth.
Narrator.
My, look at the concentration on your face. All will, but no result. There you have it, see? The collar's function. It neuters you, of sorts. Makes you unable to cast source. For your
Source
own
means
peace
magic.
of mind, of course. Yours and the whole world's.
Take my leave. Party member only allowed character. They used to call me Marcus Miles, now I'm the beast of the sea. I've discovered that Queen is a ruler of the Darwin Kingdom and my own cousin seeks to crush rising dissident by way of plan called Operation Downfall. Find out more of what I've called lore in the village Driftwood. Presume I escaped the Magister's clutches.
Did the murderer take him into this room? Or was he already here?
Thought he was a sorcerer and where the source caller, Bishop Alexander, continues to lead his divine order as the son of Lucian, and is widely assumed he will succeed him in the next divine. Chapter 1. Person divine, champion of the 7 gods and surveyor of Rivalon. is dead. He sacrificed himself to defeat the forces of the Void, leaving his son Alexander to preside over the next chapter of Rivlon's history. But Lucian's sacrifice did not buy peace. Instead, the years that followed were plagued by the menace of Void Woken.
Yes, this is a rare kind.
Oh, it's Facebook.
I'll need to write to headquarters right away.
Oh no. These beasts were drawn to source magic and left death and destruction in their wake. Incapable of wielding the divine powers that his father had at his disposal, Alexander is restored to harsher measures in order to stop the Void Woken. Great pogrom has commenced.
Now, where did I leave my calipers?
Sorcerers, those who show the most skill in the manipulation of source, encouraged by his most trusted advisor, Dallas. Alexander has declared that all sorcerers must be resettled in isolated colonies where they cannot pose a threat to the rest of Rebellion. Rebellion?
No lesions, no trauma.
Perhaps can explore a little before I go to him. There are sorcerers being transported to Fort Joy, an ancient fortress to a remote island where magistrates and divine order have established an internment camp. Bound by magic color cannot be removed. Okay. Get in trouble if I take that book.
Yes, this
looks
is
like.
kind of magic. I'll need to write to headquarters
Good
right
gods,
away.
there's been a murder here.
There's been a murder here. Can I go in here? Check it out?
Behind the Magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out a face amid the mess.
What a well of knowledge this
We're looking in the room between the lurching ship and the smell of blood. You feel sick. Peer into the room and ask what happened. What up?
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Lucky you were busy getting your collar fitted at the time, or you'd be a suspect like the rest of them. Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does.
Knew the dead man?
It's a small ship. His name was Finn. Oddball. Looked to me like he saw something he wished he hadn't before he came here. We'll find out who did it, one way or another.
How about you?
A young Magister stands pale and silent. Her knuckles whiten around her weapon as you pass.
Oh, you don't like me?
No lesions, no trauma. He was bled by magic.
A tree book? Read. A woman from Driftwood with nary a care offered me kisses that answered my prayer. I accepted her gift, and then to my dismay a spider she was, and I her buffet. Once feasting was over, she licked her red lips. I rose from the floor, still coming to grips. She thanked me for coming, and bade her farewell. My prayer indeed answered, though still I did swell. Interesting. So add to wares, what happens is mark item to wares, sell them in one batch, hold shift, and press the left mouse button on item in your inventory to mark as wares.
This is a rare kind of magic. I'll need to write to headquarters right away.
Okay. Sell that. How come a chair has a hit points? Oh, I can sit. Can I loot his body? Doesn't look like I'm allowed.
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this.
From where she was this man's protector. She was his captor? That's why she's letting you close to the crime scene, for all she knows. She wasn't. Inform her that she wasn't this man's protector.
Finn didn't see it like that. He was desperate for us to help him. Two things scared the living daylights out of him. His own shadow and his own source. We'll find out who did this. Speaking of...
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. Didn't even stir. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course.
So that's a trick you haven't quite mastered, as if she's investigating her fellow magistrates.
Finn was killed by Source. If a Magister could do that, there wouldn't be a Magister. It looks more like a passenger managed to slip their collar. And the rest, well, you see the evidence in front of you. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Sometimes they clam up in front of a uniform. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that?
Say that I'll let her know if I hear anything. Say that I'm not a snitch. Laugh. She really thinks you'd help a magister, someone who's keeping her under lock and key. Keeping me under lock and key. Tell her your price is considerably higher than that. I guess if I just take my leave, I'll have my options open still.
Did the murderer take him into this room? Or was he already here?
It's weird how everything has like hit points. Be good, you scallywagums. Got some pantaloons. Am I wearing pants? I think so, right? Thread.
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a barrel. They sound like the dry cackling of an old witch.
Snake eyes.
That's one of the characters.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like.
What she's doing.
Rolling dice. Deciding fates.
Whose fates?
Don't worry, honey. It isn't yours.
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a coy smile on her lips.
Never say never, though.
She smiles contemptuously.
Just a kitten in a corner, aren't we?
The only other option was to ask if she can see the future in cow entrails, which seemed kind of rude.
Rubbish!
Classify this slop as food. I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
Picked up a bit royal. Use a rest and heal your party. Or take those. Let's take all of that there.
Well, if it ain't the beast of the sea, I'll be. Shouldn't you be off yo-ho-hoing on your own ship instead of stowing away on this one?
There has been a murder, Your Majesty.
Raise your eyebrows. He knows who you are clearly, and he is? Question mark. Give him a wink and grin, and merely quickest way to the Reaper's Coast. Tell him true. Managed to detect the wave dancer. Saving his crew meant invoking source.
Oh, nobody special, just a carpenter I am. But every dwarf worth his beard knows the beast.
Oh no, give him a wink. Guess I could tell him.
So the tales ain't so tall, eh? Shame to see you cooped up here with us. Still, better collared than noosed, I say. Long as we can get this ale down our throats, all's good.
Ale? Can I have some?
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty.
Rubbish.
Turnips and water are all I was given.
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen-course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
What's going on over here?
Ah, there you are. Husband.
Husband?
Would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not-at-all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this Losa woman, nor do I sing, in fact. I'm deathly allergical.
Play along and take her arm and grin. Tell the children they must be mistaken. Squint. It's a lot of them. Who is Lose? Say she must have confused with someone else with that. Kids and say they seem well enough like brats to you. Who?
The young woman seems about to raise her hand, but quickly remembers herself and nods pointedly at the excited children.
Who indeed? Why, my name is, Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peeb.
The children break out into giggles.
I say, it is.
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she shoos the children away from her with a laugh.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and git, and maybe I'll sing you something when I'm good and ready.
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty-haired, and smiles flatly.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we?
Say that's true enough. Shake her hand. Losi, I presume. Guess that she can find some more age-appropriate companions. Say you're more concerned with survival than entertainment. Shake her hand, maybe?
You presume right.
If she knows anything about the murder that happened on board, tell her that she ought to go around and watch others' backs.
Thanks, but I already belong to an elite and exclusive ship gang. We play ball every day after lunch. You're too soft for it. You take care, though.
You know anything about the murder?
Nope. Trying not to find anything out, either. Ignorance is bliss. The utterer, the better.
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish veins run down her face, and her mouth tightens into a cruel sneer.
Oh. She the murderer?
As quickly as they came, the clouds clear. She smiles as though no change came over her.
Good luck, Chief.
Up, child.
Oh, hi. You're a dwarf. My best friend is a dwarf. Her name is Esther. She's smaller than me, but stronger, too. I'll see her when I get home.
Okay, bye.
Do you know Losa? She's a really good singer. I'm better, though. Listen. La, 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 la. You're a really big kid. And really hairy.
Rude. I'm not a child. I'm a dwarf. The beast. Puppy? Can't understand what the animal was trying to communicate to you. If you had pet pal talent, you could have a meaningful conversation. Okay. Bark.
Name?
Who wants to know? Grin, tell him no one called you anything but peace and news.
The Divine Order wants to know.
Screw you, buddy.
Not so fast. Name?
Fine, beast.
Well, you aren't here on my list. Scrammy. We're trying to catch a killer here.
There has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magisters more concerned than your appetite.
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He looks up, his big round eyes scanning your body, absorbing every detail. He reaches out and examines your face, tugging at your ears and prodding your nose.
Fascinating.
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence.
Stare at him in shock and ask what the hell you think he's doing. I swear the book he's reading is any good. Seems engrossed in it. Ask who you're speaking to. Chortle as if he minds those pinches fascinating until he sees the rest of you.
Ah, yes. The niceties. My name is Fane. I am a scholar from... well, I am a seeker of knowledge. That is enough. It is pleasurable to meet you.
That's why he's seeking. There's a lot of knowledge. Not towards his book. You found much knowledge in there.
Is there?
What are you seeking?
Wherever do you keep it? Certainly not in your books. I have been reading this one for several minutes, and I have yet to find a single insight into the mysteries of the universe. It is simultaneously too detailed and insufficient. I know the beginning of this tale and the end, but I am rather missing the middle. Tell me, what do you know of our world's history?
Tags determine how the world interacts with your party members. Custom characters have race, gender, and profession tags. Origin characters also have their own origin tag. So I can tell them about me being the beast, or I could tell them about being the dwarf. Tell them about a war between Divine Order and the Black Ring. Dwarf thing that went before. Sadly, the Dwarf Empire is a great one, but shrunk a lot in recent history. I feel like the number 1 and 3 are going to be common knowledge, but me personally, he'll be interested in. Tell him that history is just a series of lies that tell ourselves to justify our present sins.
Most unusual, and if it's not too rude to suggest, not much of an answer. No, I want to know about the Celestial. I want to know about your gods. This text tells me that they created all creatures, but nothing of what came before. Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind?
That some things just aren't known. Look at him incredulously. The gods are forces of nature. They don't have a history. Ask why he's so curious about the gods. Why so curious?
The elf's face freezes for just a second before he waves his hand dismissively.
Oh, it's just one of my idle curiosities. We mortals do like to consider these things, do we not? Now please, run along. I have a world to decipher.
Tell me why.
No amount of pestering will get the elf to take his eyes off his book or respond to your questions.
Fine, then I'm out of here.
Your Majesty, turnips and water are all I was given.
Well, well. What have we here?
The red prince.
A fresh face in this stale hell. Let's size you up, shall we? See if you'll do.
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would a fetching horse. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
Got this wolf on a leash
now. Humor him, let him see your... Let's see where this leads. Mumble through clenched jaws. What on earth are you doing? The nerve. Slap away. Hand away. Let's say the nerve.
Ma, we are fierce, aren't we? Not to worry. I'll soon remedy that. Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook?
Don't tell me you're quite the lizard in the kitchen, a true chef. Laugh and say you can hardly tell a turkey from a turnip. Tell him you're not answering his damn questions. Take your leave. Yeah, this guy's a jerk.
Goodness gracious me, what a bore. Off with you. Quite clearly, you wouldn't have done at all. Shoo.
Get out of my face.
I spent my life singing for my slaves to bring me my supper. Finer fare than boiled roots and rotten tubers, too. Meanwhile, the Magisters feast on honeyed meat behind this very wall. The indignity.
Dignity.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of this ship with it.
Just taking everything.
And if she tries to run, shoot to kill.
Is there a weight limit? Guess I could sell all this crap, right? Have I talked to you yet?
Never thought.
I'm busy watching for clues, sorcerer.
Ask what you must.
A scruffy man lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded. A sly smile playing on his face, he stares across at the Magister guarding him. Noticing you, he straightens and beckons for you to come closer.
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board, and I'd bet 3 months' pay it's this trampy fan.
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again.
Move closer, noble. He dares, beckoning you like a common servant. Sniff and pretend not to notice him.
Suit yourself. Was just going to adjust your collar for you. It pinches, right?
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at Ifan. And now, you.
Why does he suspect you of murder?
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander many, many, many moons ago. Isn't that right, Vic?
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger across his throat in an elaborate fashion, but says nothing. Ifan grins, flashing pointed white teeth.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword and now he's Johnny Big Pants.
Still curious about the murder.
Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the Joy. Away from interested parties.
Okay, bye.
Ifan performs an elaborate pantomime of keeping quiet, one finger in front of his lips as he leans back against the wall.
Open locked doors or chests, you can
thought
find
you'd end up
key,
a prison
learn,
guard,
lockpick, use brute force.
That right? I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Mest. Your kind always hung closest to our divide, like wolves around a campfire.
Here to register, sir. Good, good. Magister Williams is just about done with the last passenger. You faring okay so far?
Fine.
Glad to hear it. You head on in now. Williams will get you sorted fast.
Okay.
Never
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
Give you a perfect opportunity to create a mutiny. Tell the woman I stand with her. Address the sorcerer. Ask her what she meant by there's others who end up dead.
It means your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its finale, though, because...
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
Oh.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts Source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
Oh god. Combat Divinity or just says played around, everything is getting better. Oh yeah! Didn't I just die? Come on. One shot.
What's happened?
Oh. AP points what you receive each round turn ends with you. No. AP points. Hold left alt. Other objects you can pick up. From left to right in order of the character's portraits determine the turns or the combat. Trade, soup, wine, guess I'll pick up this food. They catch me with all this crap though, they're probably gonna not like. Oh, look at this. Knife on a stick, makeshift shield, pickaxe, improvised staff, display case. Oh, she just destroyed these guys. Stained pants. Gold. Will it hurt if I walk in the fire? Check on everybody else over here. Dead. Key.
The young woman lies in a heap on the floor. She's breathing normally, but her eyes are wide open, like those of a corpse. Dark, greyish-black clouds swirl through them.
Wake up.
She doesn't stir.
What's this say? Source muted, knocked down, and she's wet. Giggity. Giggity. Orange juice. Not that puppy. essence. Bucket. I can wear a bucket as a helmet. Is that what that is?
Oh! What? What happened? Must have been the turnips.
Slap him in the face? Or throw water on him. Let's throw water on him.
Water? Wine, for goodness sake. Oh.
The lizard's eyes close as he slips into unconsciousness.
Bloody footprints. You there.
Ivan lies motionless, curled on the ground like an animal. Under his shaggy hair, you can see green eyes fluttering as if in a nightmare. A low whine escapes his lips.
Wake up.
His eyes flicker open, but he doesn't register your presence at all.
Lucien. Lucien.
Ivan cries out, then his eyes fall closed again. No matter how much you shake him now, he cannot be roused.
Aroused. Want to arouse him. Open, open. Don't I have a key? Old key. Combine with. Look at crafting screen. Select or drag 2 items into a craft slots. Hit the combine button. Valid combination will be added to your recipe book. Let me see. Physical armor. Words initiative. Terrify. Doesn't matter which hand. Shields up. Nothing more than a common metal can no longer hinder source. Was there anything else? There's pants. Stained pants. Pantaloons? Oh no, wait. So I'm guessing a key would automatically identify a door that it can unlock.
No, not the final dark. Not yet.
I'll get you out of here if I can.
It's no use. Your words do not seem to reach her.
The dice roll darkly. They're rolling for me.
Good roll. Blood and guts. Chunk of flesh. 4 gold. haven't gone upstairs yet.
The Magister lies on the floor, unconscious and bleeding from a dire-looking wound.
I'm like, yep. Seems about right. Grinning skull. If I take the skull off, will it mess up the machine?
What are you smiling about?
Ancient book. One's gonna stop me from taking it, right? Okay, crime scene. Some crime scenes like murdering or stealing and leave a crime scene. Even if nobody saw you commit a crime, they may stumble upon the crime scene later and start investigating. Okay. Can I put it back? Stolen. Read. Sourcing these things, there's no magic too foul, even those of would block or even remove the source within an individual. I delight in his madness is an invitation to manipulate all which he once believed immutable. It provides all manner of experimental subjects. The text beneath is listed a series of hexes and materials required for a muting source. Some of those objects are circled in black ink and annotated as follows. Helm collar mask. I don't need that. My tiny legs. Go, tiny legs. Where were their steps? Oh, over here.
Hatch is blocked. I'll need to find another way.
Of course. Troubled waters. It's a wet dog. Friend or foe? Knockdown arrow. What a magic spell. Within it you can cast spells you haven't learned yet. Okay. Mug of beer.
Damn, that doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards.
Oops, god dang it. I'm over encumbered. How did it say?
Gods, damn it. Need to get off this wreck and quick.
Gold cup. Should be worth a pretty penny. Hey, stop that. Am I in trouble now?
How the gods! By divine grace, what was...
He eyes the collar circling your neck and reaches a hand towards his blade.
Don't do it.
Another sorcerer!
The Magister's companion doesn't blink, frozen in place at the sight of you.
Motion and destruction around you. What's going on here?
Like you don't know? Mutiny! Did that witch fix your collar too?
I don't think so.
He whispers loudly to the other Magister.
Don't just cower there, Rix! Take out your blade!
Rix grabs his sword, which shakes in the rhythm of his trembling hand.
Persuasive event. During a persuasive event, you can try to persuade the person you're talking to. Depending on your answer, your stats, and your persuasion ability, will be compared to those of your conversation partner. The character will, in the highest persuasion ability, likely win the persuasion. Narrator. Snarl? That's right. There's immunity. If they want to be their families again, they'll stand down. Intelligence. Tell them there's no immunity. You almost died at this woman's hands. Tell him this one is injured. She asks you go find help. Roll your eyes. These weaklings and draw your weapon. Should be easy. Strength? Failure.
The Magisters look to each other, then back to you, and unsheath their blades with a metallic zing.
Your lies end here! Get him!
Fight! Use your hotbar, click on the action and perform that action. Cancel by pressing your right mouse button. Object skills item to your hotbar access. Let's throw my shield, shall we? Fortify. How many points do I have? Shouldn't my collar be preventing this, or I guess this is natural ability? Basic attack. Attack the guy. Oh my god. Ow. 4 count by. Shield hit pretty hard. Get riggedy wrecked. Give me your gold. Desk. Letter. Can I just read it from there? That's what I should have did with the book. My sweet Ephraim. As I write this letter, we near this isle. By the time the hour delivers it, it will be but a day away. I've heeded Alexander's orders, just as you said I should, but I think of Lucian often. Would the Divine have condoned this? Would he have blessed us as we rip children from their mothers? Can this be the only way? I feel cold, inside and out. And one thing I am certain, your arms will warm me when I find you again. With love, Rix. Did I just kill Rix? Yo, Rix. Oh, Rix is dead. What's up, Vikachka? I guess I could take this letter. And if I find an Ephrin, I can be like, yo, I killed your bae. Today's going well. Celebrated my sister's birthday and enjoying this little adventure role-playing game style game. It looks very daunting at the current. Like, I'm still getting used to have all these little tool tips and tutorials to read. Move a container to inventory. Fire arrow. Items such as scrolls, grenades, and special arrows are automatically added to your hotbar on pickup track alarms. Bottle of water. Kind of just hoarding everything right now. Journal. Smearing makes the journal difficult to read, but you managed to make out such much of the latest entry. Wouldn't be happy at the situation, but what Dallas didn't know won't hurt her. Gods know I'm not paid enough to haul these source freaks to their Isle of Untouchables. From there, it's off to Driftwood with those barrels. The dwarf tossed me handsome some gold. Ship 'em. For shipping them. Some barrels? If my weapons have durability. Uppers. Put out this fire over here. So that we can go through this door. The fire is bad to touch, and that he won't automatically walk around it.
Great gods! Something's pounding on the hull!
Some monsters.
marking on the door was painted recently, judging from its pungent scent. You don't recognize the symbol, but it's clearly warning you away. You press your palm against the door to open it. The wood feels neither cold nor warm, but simply grey. The color drains from your hand, and you are left numb.
Take my hand away. So it looks like I need to burst open this water to turn out this fire, but I don't know how to shoot it. Unless my shield throw maybe? There we go. Okay. Read the notes. More tough. Death fog barrels have been locked down in the storage. Stay out. You and Rick both. If anyone starts fooling around down there, it'll be lights out.
You pass through the door and are suddenly face to face with an undead. His skull is bizarrely angular, and a glorious jewel sits in the middle of his forehead. The skeleton is quickly leafing through a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia, muttering to himself.
No, no, no! What damn fools record knowledge on a pulped tree? It catches fire, it turns into must when wet, it cannot even resist acid! No wonder they're so bloody ignorant.
The skeleton looks up and notices you for the first time.
Oh, it's you. Shouldn't you be running and screaming or some such?
Something familiar about the way he holds a book. Grab whatever close hand, move, attack the undead monster. Ask if he should be doing the same. The ship's going down.
The skeleton groans and looks back to his book, frantically flipping from page to page.
Yes, indeed. It's the look of someone that wants to read the bloody book he's holding. Now, if you're really quite finished, I believe you have lifeboats to flee to.
You're the elf.
Please, I was no more an elf than you are those rags you're wearing. I had a mask, rather ingeniously designed, which allowed me to take that primitive form. A mask that was stolen by that damned witch after her little scene. Still, she'll drown with the rest of these fools, and I will simply pluck my mask from her cold, dead hands.
I don't have time for this.
One of your race's weaknesses is having your lungs filled with water until you can no longer breathe. So, try to avoid that, perhaps.
The skeleton resumes his search, leafing through page after page, while hunching over the book in a futile attempt to keep it dry.
He's just sitting there by himself. Guess I'll leave that one room by the one with the skull on it. Prison. At a prison. A poison surface will be created in your vicinity. You can bring it with fire, but perhaps it can be used. Can I clear it with like a this? Attack. Fortify. Slow. Jeez. What's going on up here? Shoot. Let's see. Wand. Guess I can't go that way. Did you just get struck by lightning?
Lifeboat. That means there's still a chance.
What about the people down below? Can't make them my party members? Or maybe I go investigate that room. So I assume a lifeboat means I'm about to just leave. Can I carry bodies? Doesn't look like it. Rooms damage, find a repair hammer, or trader to restore it. Yeah, dang it. Scales. Guessing having this is going to be better than a damage weapon. Should I shoot spells at it? Fire damage. Resurrection scroll. Wait, don't I have a key?
The moment you touch the door, your belly goes hollow and it doesn't budge. The door groans open, but an ashen shadow clouds your mind.
Death fog? I need to get out of here now.
Sword now. Death fog. Does this clear it? So do I die in it? Can I see? Do I die in it or do I start dying in it? Okay. I die in it. For science. Insta-death. There's no way to clear it? There was another room that was locked down below, but I could go and break the door, but I don't feel like the rewards this early in the game aren't as worth. Let's go see what these people want to do.
Shut your trap, kid. Children and dwarfs first, just like the old stories say.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes to no avail.
Said there were other people down there. We need to help them.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here.
Call the dwarf yellow-belly coward. You'll turn down lower decks. Strivers, check toe beneath the feet. Kids right. Stay back and lower deck for survivors. Get the kid kills. Tell the kid kills right. Come down lower deck. I'm going back down there. Reach release mechanism. You're coward.
Thank you! There's a ladder right over there. You can go straight down.
You're gonna be the death of us, you hear?
Ladder. Right here. Oh, this is that door that was blocked earlier. Let's check on this.
The Magister lies on the floor, unconscious and bleeding from a dire-looking wound.
Babies.
If you can walk, get yourself up the ladder. There's a wait, avoid walking.
Avoid walking. Knock down. No.
I thought void broken was supposed to be scary.
So are they controlled themselves?
I've faced worse.
Let the games begin.
Backstab critical.
They who are about to triumph.
Fortified. Knocked down. Is knocked down dead? Looks like it. Enough AP. Loot. Get over here. Backstab.
Let's not tarry. This old tub is about to burst.
Oh, 500, never mind. Don't I have a key? Salmon. Gotten 2 keys. Where was that key sitting? Oh, on top of this shelf. Gold. Mashed taters. Let's read this journal for lore. This tomb contains no text, instead sketches of dragons fill every page. The artist is hardly talented but clearly enthusiastic. Got a knife. Mug of wine. Potato. Poison bottle. Ooh, that's a lot of poison. Mashed potatoes. Convenient garlic. Maybe I can make a recipe.
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
Game over.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Oriven.
Run! My heart. Oh, damn it. A few good miles out by now.
Am I the lone survivor?
Which means I better get a move on.
Shell lizards have been known to use these shells as mystical instruments in their death rituals invoking hunting. Do I have anything? Yeah, it looks like I have stuff. Waypoint 2. Discover a waypoint. Fleeing combat will bring you to the nearest waypoint. You also quickly travel between waypoints. Which is this? Is this the waypoint? Whisper wood.
Brachus Rex. The fella builds his throne on the backs of thousands, and the Order lets his statue stand.
$24 gold, yes. These offerings. Hey,
The child has a small mirror in his hands. He holds it up at angles, inspecting his eyes, his chin, the crown of his head. He spots you, and his arms snap to his sides.
You can barter with almost all characters. Use the trade icon in dialogue pane to start bartering. Okay.
I'm not supposed to talk to dwarves.
Tell the kid to keep to himself then, or tell him you've been told not to talk to odd kids. Drag items you wish to buy or sell into the barter window. Balance the offer by pressing the scales window to balance offer by pressing the scales. Confirm the transaction. Red button. You can also identify or repair all items at trade. How do I offer repair items? Repair item. I'm guessing this is not available since it's a child. Teddy bear. Where's the mirror he had?
The child considers your statement.
You're weird. Are you a sorcerer? One of those guys that brings the bad void things here?
Must be. Say you must be, or you wouldn't be here. As thinks you're looking like a sorcerer. Good. You are. There's a collar on his neck. So be he. Sure.
The child looks at you straight on, unafraid, searching your face. He lifts his mirror to his nose, closes one eye, and looks at himself again.
I don't see any source on you or me. I guess they're wrong or crazy.
That's a child why he's out here alone.
No one cares where I go. They know I can't leave the island. It's nicer out here than inside anyway.
Isn't safe here. The ship was wrecked by Voidwoken offshore.
But you didn't die.
Survived by the skin of my teeth.
There isn't anywhere safer. That's what I mean. You'll see.
You're not scared?
I guess I am, but it's just normal to be scared. Nowhere isn't scary.
Okay, bye. Sight range indicator. Here, enemies ahead. Press left shift to see the enemy's sight range. You can sneak into the transparent red areas by pressing C. Combat will start the moment you enter the opaque red zone. Shift. Okay. Saved.
Voidwalker. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn, they've made it to shore.
Should I just kill these guys? Sneaking successful. Sneak attack!
You. I know you.
Ow.
Worms take you. I thought these bloody collars were supposed to keep those things at bay.
Somebody said they knew me. Just gained a level. Stats. This is shape what characters can do and how will they do it. Personality. Strength, intelligence, constitution, memory, wits, damage. I feel like just going like strength, vitality is like a standard. It's already where I'm high up. Dual wield. Do I want to dual wield? Like dual wielding hammers or something? Range single hand? I think I like. Oh no, I should do one because I have my shield here. So single hand. Leadership. Leadership gains dodge and resistance bonus to all allies in the 5-meter radius. Perseverance. Restore magic armor after you recover from frozen or stunned. Restore physical armor after knockdown or petrified. Distribution. Reflex. Receive damage to your attacker. Skill. Geomancer. Huntsman. Hydrosophist, Necromancer, Polymorph, Pyrokinetic, Scoundrel. Scoundrel increases movement speed and boosts your critical modifier. Summoning Warfare. Warfare increases all physical damage you deal. Level 1 physical attacks deal 5% more damage. Geomancer. Geomancer increase all poison and earth damage you deal. Let's go with single-handed. And then bartering improves your haggling skills. Point of invested traders become cheaper and your more expensive. Lucky charm increase your likelihood of finding extra treasure whenever you loot. Persuasion helps you convince characters to your bidding. Dialogues increase how much characters like you. Craftsmanship. Lore Master identifies enemies and allows you to identify items. Increase the Lore Master allows you to identify faster. Telekinesis, you remove items telepathically regardless of weight. Sneaking. I wouldn't suspect dwarves being good sneakers. I kinda want to do persuasion. Talents are characters' unique qualities. Select talents complement your character's abilities, attributes. Attacks. Barbarian Beast. Guess I can do a helmet. Bucket helmet, but it subtracts my initiative. Okay. I see why. I am Buckethead. I wear a bucket on my head. After a marine, tie my sword. What advice to the belly armed? Tie your knife or shiv. That's what you have to a stick or branch. Now I've got a sword of sorts. Okay. Did I learn anything? Oh, it's telling me. Oh, there was a stick somewhere. Should probably pick up the scraps and stuff. Short stick, and I have a shiv. So what you're telling me is if I put this shiv with stick. Here's the stick. Short stick. Arrow staff. Okay. Arrow staff of bowstring. Arrow staff. Bowstring. Thread to tie with? I don't know. Guess we need to find more of those books. So wait, I assume... Now that I've read that though... Now that I've read that, do I have it in a crafting recipe? Knife on a stick with a rope. Shiv. Use bottle full of oil, rope and rope, short stick. Need cutting tool with a short stick, arrow staff. So I just made an arrow. Got it. Sneaking successful. The Red Prince. He's my enemy? Thievery. I mean, we talk trash to each other. in the ship, but I don't think they should make me my enemy.
You spot a strange lizard gazing over the water with a steady, malcontent stare. His skin is of a bright, blood-red color. Could he be... Yes, you recognize him from the ship. It would seem you're not the only one who survived the tentacles of the deep.
He's the one who took you and just sees you like a horse. A bone to pick with him.
The lizard turns about with the graceful ease of a dancer, or a duelist. You lock eyes with his, two smouldering embers that sizzle your very soul.
My bucket, though.
Yes, I imagine you do. You're made of sterner stuff than I first gave you credit for. Chances are I wouldn't have survived the shipwreck had you not returned to the aid of your fellow passengers down in that dreadful hold. You have my gratitude.
Yeah, that's all I want. That's all I want, some respect.
Hand over heart, he salutes you with a bob of the head. More than a nod, though less than a bow.
Tell me you're glad to be of help. Doesn't do to stand idly when people are in danger.
Yes, I'm sure you've all the makings of a hero and all that, but let's not get carried away, shall we? Now then, if there's nothing further.
What are you doing on that rock?
I'm sure I don't mean to sound condescending, but I had thought it quite self-evident I was gazing out over the waves.
He sighs dramatically.
Tell me, what do you see when you cast your glance over this ocean?
I see everything.
You're everything. We see much the same, then, in our own ways.
He looks out over the water once more, and so do you. A few tranquil moments pass as the waves lap against your thoughts.
A kiss?
As for myself, when I consider this vast expanse before us, I see an empire. I see continents dotted with mighty cities. And shimmering along the soft curve of the sea's horizon, I picture the palaces that formed my paradise. Lost.
Mercy Cousin Sky Moses. Lost?
What do you mean, what do I mean? I mean just what I say. I had a very actual empire that I lost.
Do you need to find it? Was it taken?
Suddenly, having all the air of being deeply offended, he stares at you with utter incredulity.
No.
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. Or do you really mean to tell me you don't know who I am?
Well, of course. Every blue blood knows a red prince.
The very same. I am the Red Prince, the All-Conqueror, the World-Tamer, the spouse of the sun.
Okay.
Of course you know me.
There's a brief moment's pause, during which his grandiloquent pose deflates ever so slightly.
That said, I suppose I must own up to the fact that I find myself rather in between all-conquering and world-taming opportunities at the moment. The grandeur that is my fate has hit a bit of a snag. But never you worry. For the throne I was destined, and my throne I shall have.
Say that you have this and that to sort out. He's welcome to tag along if he wants. I'm going to travel with you. Maybe you can help him win his throne back. I'll say if he could tag along. I don't want to try to... I got a queen to overthrow apparently, so... I'm not really interested in conquering.
This and that. tag along? Do you really mean to compare the fate of an empire to whatever foibles you seek to fix? On the other hand, I really could do with a dog's body. And you've already proven to be trustworthy enough. You came back for the others on that ship after all. Fine, I accept. On one condition. For reasons I'll not disclose right now, it is imperative that I should meet with a dreamer, one of the mystics of my kind. I've reason to believe one of them may be present on this island. Promise me we'll look for him, and I'll extend you the blessing of my company.
Can't promise him exactly, but I'll keep this request in mind.
You do tend to beat around the bush, don't you? Oh well, that wishy-washy answer will have to do then. So, now that that's settled, first things first. Even if you are as versed in the art of eloquence as I am, that our swords will be doing a lot of the talking from here on out goes without saying. As a born fighter, I prefer the perfection of the blade myself. But I'm well acquainted with the secrets of magic and, yes, even subterfuge. What say you?
Say that a fighter sounds perfect. You should stay true to his vocation. True to someone with a little muscle. Some little finesse. Just someone with the infinity of arcane arts. Let's see if he knows magic. Finesse, maybe? No. Stay true to your vocation.
Very well. Onwards then to victory or death.
Okay.
The Red Prince nods and gives you a smile that wavers ever so delicately between courtesy and contempt.
Now, as you're aware, you'll be traveling with a prince. Proper forms of address include Your Majesty, Your Royal Highness, or if you're feeling particularly frivolous, My Lord.
Okay.
As your luck would have it, I seem to be fresh out of luggage, so you won't be required to carry my belongings.
I'm gonna be one of the first to go if I reach a cap on my party size.
Of course, there are other forms of protocol to bear in mind, but I'll see to it you'll pick up the rest as we go. So, without further ado, let us be off.
Let's go. Have you learned a new skill? Press K. No. Pulling apart my parts to the something. Tension increase, more crimes are committed, and the neutrality higher in certain areas. As tension rises, other less likely to forgive your. Tension. Memorize skills. Onyx stare. Drain magic targets and gain a moment for yourself. Not enough source points. Source muted. Can't cast. It's up to 13 armor. Depending on the damage that you deal. Dragon Blaze, Breath Flame, Clone, dealing fire damage. Shields up. Where's shield? Mortify. You want a bucket? We can be bucket buddies. What else? I lead.
A black cat.
The cat's eyes are clouded and grey, but it stares at you with acute intensity. Its eyes clear, and it shakes its head, confused.
Yes, by all means, let us partake in the art of conversation.
You're talking.
I never want to set foot on a stuffy old boat ever again. Hey, mister. It's a lot nicer here than that stinking boat, huh? I'm sure glad you went back to save the others. Saw one of them wringing out their tunic at the shore a few hours ago. Say hi for me. Adults always want to talk. Can't I just play here with my shells a while?
Can I have your gold? What would make this fair? She said nothing. Let me have all your gold and I'll give you a watermelon. Pumpkin soup. Potato. Some ham. Whatever this crap is. Good snapper. I'm not sure how repair works. Unless I'm supposed to... What does it say where it's damaged? So it represents the trader attitude towards you. The higher the attitude, the better the price. You can raise a trader attitude by gifting payments for gold. I'm gonna be rich for no reason. Is this cat now following us?
1, 2, long dead of the crew. 3, 4, pretty shells on the shore.
He's following us.
Send us your children, your supplicants.
A new divine.
Muddy mittens. Something. Bar. Do a thorough study of this area. This has to be somebody. Right? Somebody from the boat that can maybe polymorph? My guess. Or something from this that involves this island. World secrets. Keep an eye out for secret passages full of hidden levers, pressure plates, mysterious hatches. Try walking through the hanging vines. Hanging vines, where? Right here? Tricky, tricky.
I wonder where this leads.
Guys, thing's muted. But that skeleton dude?
As the alcove opens up, you see the same skeleton that you met on the boat before it sank. He's still not wearing his mask. He's leaning over a corpse, prodding and pulling at the skin of its face.
Bugger. How on earth am I supposed to... Oh. Perhaps...
Skeletal fingers reach down and grip the skin of the dead man's face, pulling sharply upwards. After a few more tugs at the man's cheeks, the skeleton relents, letting the head drop to the ground with a damp thud.
Damnation. That stuck fast. I wonder, does the beard act as some form of anchor?
What are you doing?
No! Stay back! Don't... Oh, it's you. I must admit I'm surprised. Perhaps you're more buoyant than I suspected.
What business with that body? Anything valuable there?
Oh, yes. An exceptionally common, but exceptionally valuable commodity. A face. A face that seems rather stubbornly attached to his skull. I would normally employ a tool to delicately but viciously rip the face from the body. I could then craft a mask to hide my bone. But as I lack such a tool...
The skeleton grabs the corpse by the cheeks and pulls hard, grunting in frustration as the body's skin holds firm.
Why do you make a mask?
Because my own was stolen from me. And the idea of being chased across Rivellon by every idiot with a torch does not appeal. Oh, get away! Monster! Hide the children! Oh. You are simple beasts. And you simply do not like my... Well, not my kind, but those that look like me. So, if I am to traverse this land, I will need a mask to disguise my features.
It's kind. How exactly he makes most once he has his face?
Oh, please. It is far too complicated. It requires more finesse than can be achieved by a rock tied to a stick, which I assume is your oeuvre. No, but once I have extracted the required material from this specimen, it will all be rather simple. And then I can return to finding my people. I cannot be the last Eternal, but the rest of them are somewhat absent, at least from this realm. As for the others, well, there is an excavation site at the Black Pit's oil fields. Perhaps there I'll find my answers.
Eternal, is that some kind of cult? That's why he's still here. People are finished. Does he think that people are in some sort of realm? It sounds like he needs a companion necessary to travel with you. Wish him well and leave. You wanna come along?
I suppose. Circumstances being what they are, it could be advantageous. You seem more at ease in this world than I. A guide would certainly be useful.
Sure.
Excellent. While we are conversing, perhaps you notice that I am rather skilled in, well, all things. Of course, the arcane arts are my little speciality, but being a brilliant wizard does not mean I cannot handle blade or bow. So, which do you require for this enterprise of yours?
Sure.
I could do that with one
Be
hand
a
behind my
wizard.
spine. Now, shall we get on? Splendid. Very well.
Split the party, drag their portraits away from one another, break the chain. Wait, what? I don't know what that does exactly. Corpse of an elf. Is there a way to get down there? Tree trunk. There's a chest there. Guess this is where you had telekinesis. Money, lockpicks. I don't like race open, look like you use lockpick. Fair enough. So paper, blank sheets. Milk. Identify glass. Found identify glass. Your lore master ability. Is somebody getting damage? I don't know if you'll be able to identify items. Do you have pants, sir? Appears that you do. It appears that you do. Fortunately, we do not have another bucket for you to join the bucket brigade. But your hood shall do just fine. Sir. Back where I came from. I don't know if I can get up there somehow. There has to be a way to like do it. There's stuff like out of reach. We'll keep going south into the fog of war. What's this? Red trees.
I know nothing of any Verdus.
We already stay back, sorcerer, and stay silent. Our Godwoken speaks.
What?
We know you've been helping sorcerers escape, Atusa. We have proof.
I'd sooner cut my tongue out than lie to you, Alexander. I know nothing of any escapees.
If you can tell the Godwoken no more, your tongue is of no use. Cut it out.
This can't be serious, Alexander. Come!
You should know by now to obey your superior, Magister, whatever she may ask.
Look at these guys. 8, level 4, level 8. Makes me feel you'd rather not get noticed now. Step forward saying this injustice at best and base cruelty at worst. Shout out that whether she's telling the truth or lies, it won't find any by mutilating her. Think yourself. This Alexander seems the type of rollover for should be worth remembering. Think to yourself that this Alexander seems the type to roll over for a compliment. Could be worth remembering, or call out shaking magistrate and tell her to hear this up. You're hungry. Be noble? It's funny because it's like noble and barbarian are opposite. Are opposites.
Atusa pinches the tip of her tongue with 2 fingers and brings her dagger to its root. Her eyes squeeze shut. Drops of blood form against the dagger's edge and quickly fall to the ground. She groans.
Stop! My father, may his soul rest in peace, would be disappointed in you, Atusa. To think you would lie to his only son, your bishop, and your friend these many years. The fate of our realm hangs in the balance. If you will not help us save it, then you will help the Void destroy it. Dallas?
Yes, Your Holiness?
I believe we're done here.
What a waste. Come, we'll be needed elsewhere.
Empire Manor, exclamation marks above their head. It's a reflection dialogue.
Man. I can't wait all day.
How do I do reflection? Click on them.
I told him at noon exactly, didn't I?
The Lizard Magister, or what's left of her, lies in a puddle of gore.
Girl's gotta see who's boss. Never heard about this game. Looks like Diablo. Yeah, it's it just came out today. And I'm playing it on Steam, and I've been looking for a turn-based. It's turn-based as opposed to like Diablo. That's just all kind of action RPG. So this is a turn-based RPG where you have action points to spend and stuff like that. I've been looking for something to get into. It's pretty interesting. I'm really new and I haven't been playing many of these kind of games, so I'm kind of getting into the nitty-gritty of all the lore and like mechanics. The grunt's got to see who's boss. Lizard's got in the way. Tough savages. That's all these people are. One last master for me to kill. Good. Gotta say, kind of savage.
She was a lizard, yet a magister. No matter her reasons, her penalty was fair.
How many classes have the game to choose? I'm not sure. There's a handful of them.
These creatures are so prone to violence. Naturally, the weaker specimens suffer.
Like I know that there's actually I want to say there's like 8, 9, 10
changed a bit.
decent handful. Like there's, cause then there's like variations of each one, so it's like interesting. I feel like this game follows heavily of the pen and paper style role playing, so there's a lot to unpack, especially if you're like me who doesn't. I'm not versed in the school of role playing. Looks like there's a secret path here. Restoration scroll. Oh, no, I already went over there, okay. Perception, something hidden is revealed. Already went through there, right? Yes. Guess we could check her body. The Buckethead Brigade. Let's take her leg. It's kind of morbid. Elves can eat limbs and experience memories of the person to whom the limb belongs. I'll remember that, I guess.
I've known exactly, didn't I?
Bucket Brigade's here. What of it?
Did you see him? You did, right? Those claws. Wonder what's behind the masks, too. Can't be pretty.
I'm sure you mean.
The Geists, dummy. The Hammer and Alexander had two in tow just a moment ago.
Oh.
Ugh. Thought you lot'd be interested in a thing like that.
Sounds like a game. Yeah, I like how it's all voiced over too. And you got some freedom. And depending on how you tune your character, so like see I have noble option here, which is unique because I have a noble like attribute. I'm also a barbarian, I'm a male, so like depending on how you customize your character you'll have different options, which is kind of cool. Something in the tone, she's thinking especially interested in the Geist.
Ah, no reason. Settle in, eh? The Magister will come and find you when they're ready for you. Could be a while, though. High Priest is up to his hood and sinners these days.
I got my eye on you, half-stack. Don't try any of that sauce business on my watch, or I'll do to you what the hell I did to that traitor.
I don't appreciate being spoken to like that. Dwarf smile at him smugly and asked him if he heard of the dwarf saying the bigger the man, the smaller the ego. What are you doing?
Missed quite the scene. The bishop himself with his right hand laid down the law on a traitor among our own ranks. One of the last lizard magisters left. Burst into quite the bloody mess she did.
I'll see if there's a thing that I can look at to see the number of classes, but I'd have to look it up. We know more about the bishop in Dallas.
Bishop's the son of the dead divine. Don't know when we'll get a new one, but Alexander's looking after us in the meantime all the same. And the hammer's a solid sort. Don't take no guff and don't stand for no idling. Earned that name for a reason, she did.
Came to be a guard here.
During the time of Lucian, of course. Who wouldn't join up with God himself? It was all glory, all goodness. When we lost him, well, it only made sense to see his will through.
How do you know the will of the divine?
Can't for certain. But I reckon when God himself gives his life to protect you, you don't waste the gift. You protect it with everything you've got. So that's what we do.
Wonder aloud if the divine really would have approved of a place like Fort Joy.
Lucian gave his life to protect Rivellon. If we let the Voidwoken get to it now, well, we'd have lost him for nothing. Fort Joy ain't no summer camp. No one said it were, but it's the best we've got to protect the realm.
Allowed to leave?
When you give up the darkness that's inside you. Take your fault, it's there, mind. But it's there all the same. They're working on a cure for you even now. Got some good leads, so I hear. You can trust Dallas to take care of it. And once you're cured, your life will start again.
So the guy seems to be implying that they're not all bad. Quick save.
Did you see them, sir? Bishop Alexander and the Hammer herself, they were so close, almost within arm's reach.
Close enough to watch them murder one of his own.
A traitor cannot be murdered. A traitor can only receive their due.
Everyone's a traitor to someone. Scoff murders murderer no matter what. Banner mops up the blood. I'll be more cryptic. Traitor's a traitor someone.
The Divine Order's all that stands between everything you see and a Voidwoken's throat. Any traitor to them is a traitor to us all.
Okay.
Believe it or don't. The Divine Order doesn't need our loyalty. They'll save us in spite of ourselves.
That's the blind obedience there. Hello?
The fella can't hear himself think with all this racket. Day and night she hollers after that child. You hear that, Farah? You gotta cut that out. What's happened to you?
Maybe we should help her?
Aye, she needs help, but none I can give. Mad as a cuckoo, that one, and twice as loud.
Why is she mad?
What else do you call hollering after a ghost? That child of hers she's shouting after's been dead and buried a month over. Killed by a Voidwoken back in our own village. Never even stepped foot in Fort Joy. And there ain't no amount of hollering that'll bring her back.
She's crazy. Or maybe she's not crazy.
Move aside, dwarf! Move aside! I need to find my little girl. I need to find my baby.
There's something I can do to help. Say you'll leave her alone, but I hope she finds her daughter soon as you can. The last saw her. And the dwarven instinct in me is to say, tell her that you offer to search for her daughter if she shows some respect.
You're right. I'm sorry. My baby's been missing for days now, and no one here will lift a finger to help me find her. Irma's her name.
What do you know about the
I
daughter?
last saw her just here, near 3 days ago. She was playing with her little doll, and I was washing out her tunic. I turned from her for one moment, and she was gone. Left her doll behind, too. It's so unlike her.
Look at the doll.
Yes, of course. Here, you should take it with you. When you find her, give her the doll and tell her, Mummy says this is for her little chicken, and it's time to come home. That's what I call her. My little chicken.
She soaks up a steady stream of tears with her shirt sleeve.
She ought to come with you then. She ought to follow you back to me.
Do my best. Well, why won't anybody else help?
This place turns people cold. Cold and wicked. That fellow Jeth over there speaks unutterable evil, but I can't move away from him. What if Irma comes back and I'm not here? You are an angel. Truly you are. I'm not mad, darling. I'm not mad.
I don't
Sweetheart.
think I ain't watching. That's your 5th blue jester this round.
What of it?
Ah, grab it in your gobblers, the both of you.
I told him at noon exactly. Didn't I?
Find a sharp piece of metal, wrap one end with cloth, now you have a shift. Okay, so just reading it gives it to me.
Mummy's right here. Where are you?
Search every nook and cranny.
Is that indigestion or is it... Oh god.
Come on,
Not now.
Lily.
You! Help me teach this beast. He must respect. If not, he comes for you next.
Respect? Huh. Someone's got to keep this place running. Griff can't do it for free. Why'd you gotta make this so hard?
An intense-looking man steps between the thug and the elf and rolls up his sleeves, revealing well-muscled and heavily scarred arms. You recognize him. It's Ifan, who you met aboard the ship on the way here.
Yeah, all three of these guys.
Just stand aside, won't you, mate? This is no business of yours.
Lone wolves decide their own business.
The thug freezes in fear for a moment, before shuffling back to the protection of his crony.
Pay up, elf. No one shorts Griff, especially not one of you.
That's why they owe some money.
Everyone in camp's got to contribute. For food, for protection, no exceptions. Especially not for elves. Griff's orders.
Food? Protection? I have neither.
Let's go after this gift or griff. She should pay as rules are rules. Say this sounds like a little more than a shakedown in disguise.
You two ought to be thanking your lucky gods it's us, and not the magisters enforcing round here. A fool never knows what they've got till it's well and gone. Now come on, elf. If you make me say it again, there's gonna be trouble.
If he chooses to harm her, he won't stand by and watch. Tell the elf what she should do is to step away, matters not your concern. He wants to lose his life over a few coins. Can't stand by.
And neither will I.
We got a system, and it looks like you don't want to fit in.
What? This can't go well for this dude. Look at him. He's level 2. Whoops, sorry. Searing daggers. Also strike. Ignition. Play dead. Sorry. Ow. That's not the chick? Oh, I thought that was the chick that, other chick I saved. Shield. And hammer. Stab, critical strike. Can you do something that does it? Plus splash damage? Can I save her from burning? Burning alive? She actually looks fine, actually. Mortify. I don't have to walk in fire though to...
Oh gods, not now.
Minor healing potion, can I give it to her? Ah, dang it. I consumed it. Let's fortify.
Meet your maker.
Follow me, before more of them trouble us.
She's just on fire.
I've an errand to run around here first. I'll catch up with you there later.
Hello. You gonna pray all day for me?
Okay.
Remember, past the kitchens, down to the beach, inside the caves there. There is a safe place.
You're on fire. Oh no. What's up, dude?
Ifan rolls his sleeves back down and casually wipes some blood from his cheek. He nods at you, the shadow of a smile on his lips.
Good work there. Good work. I can tell you've got chops. Say, you were on the ship here with me, weren't you?
He stretches out one rough hand to shake yours. He grips your hand tight as a vice and shakes it, hard.
Say, you don't look all that busy now that we're safely on dry land. I could use someone to watch my back, and it looks like you could use someone to watch yours. I've just got a small errand to run, and then I'll be looking to get the hell out of here while I've still got a neck to collar. How about we stick together until we get out of this place?
Lone wolves?
He shrugs, looking off to the side.
Mercenaries. It's a job. My job.
What about this errand?
Everyone needs to make a living. I make mine running errands.
Ask who he's here to kill. Do what we gotta do to survive.
That's the truth. For me, for you, for everyone in this place. Why not help each other get out of here?
How?
The usual way. Haphazard, terrifying, and drenched in blood. Haven't quite worked out the details yet, but I'll wager it'll be no worse than what'll happen if we stay put. 2 heads are better than 1, and when push comes to shove, 4 fists are better than 2, right?
Nod.
He grins, sharp teeth glittering in the midday sun.
So, before we hit the road, it's best if we decide battle strategies up front.
This cat.
Should keep more of our blood in. Survival's my main priority. I'll use every trick in the book to keep us alive. But if a wayfarer's not what you're after, I've got other skills. What do you need? Can do. Onwards.
He scans the horizon for threats with one green eye, then nods back at you.
Right you are. Lead the way.
Gonna pray all day, buddy?
Got another one. Ooh, a club. Got all his gold that he was been collecting. take that club. Oh, thank you. Where is it?
Stay down, you!
Waypoint discovered. The thing is, I don't understand how you would... This game seems like it's very slow paced because you gotta be... If you want to get into the lore and stuff, but it's also co-op multiplayer. With I think up to 4 people. I can't imagine how, like, unless you're really close friends with the people you're playing with, how people could have the patience to sift through all the game unless you're just like speed running it to the end.
Hey, I know you.
Losa, the dark-eyed jokester you met aboard the ship, waves enthusiastically and dips into a mock elegant curtsy.
Back then I was Madame Josephine Gribbles de Pube. And you were the Beast, right? Glad to see you made it. Nothing like a nice tentacle slap across the moor to set the tone for the week, eh? How'd you escape?
Not sure, fell into the water. We're nearly lost.
Me too. Did you hear something? When you were in the water, I mean.
Yeah, a strange voice wanted me to survive.
I heard the same thing. Do you know what this means? It means I'm not the only...
Losa's voice catches in her throat. The joy drains from her face. Her eyes lose focus, and her whole body goes rigid. She is stock-still, waxy-skinned, her eyes dark. Greyish-black veins run from her eyes down her cheeks.
Call out to her and ask if she's alright.
Her head snaps to you mechanically, and her eyes lock with yours, dark pupils dilated into great black voids. Light suddenly flashes back into her face. The grey veins drain to pinkish flesh, and her whole body relaxes.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
Making those things, tell you were discussing the shipwrecks. You smell trouble about it. Keep going.
Ah, it's nothing really. It's just... I'm just a bit... well, a bit... hospitable?
Elaborate?
Put it like this. You've never been a host, I bet. That's because you're an infested clump of leaves on the side of the road. That ain't bad, though. I'd give just about anything to be like you. But I'm a roadside inn. Red door, flowers out front, friendly lady at the door beckoning you in for half price. Like a goddamn gold star inn for the disembodied.
What are you hosting?
Now, isn't that just the question of the hour? I can't be sure just yet. I'll be surprised if it's a demon. Definitely not a sprite either. Maybe a spectre, but I wouldn't bet money on it. So, how are you enjoying the joy?
You're not being dangerous yourself in society. So you heard a connection was had to see for himself. It would be all the more enjoyable if you had someone to get the lay of the land with.
Yeah? I was just thinking the same sort of thing. So, you want to check this place out together? Strength in numbers and all that.
That sounds like a fine idea.
It does, right? Before we head out, I've got more than a few tricks up my sleeve, so you'll have to pick which one I'll pull out if... when push comes to shove. Lately, I've been into the enchanting arts, but I can shoot, slash, summon, steal, whatever your little black heart desires. So, what'll it be? Sounds fine. So, we're good to go? Yeah? Hey, wait a sec. It looks like you have all the company you need. Maybe another time, when you're a bit more on the lonely side. Till then.
Okay, we said first to go is gonna be the Red Prince. You know, Fane, I'm not sure I like his... I actually wouldn't mind getting rid of dumping both these guys. Let's see. Oops. Give me your bucket. Because these guys are like really pretentious, kind of. Even though I have the noble trait in me, I feel like that's more of just like I can be noble because I'm from a noble house, apparently, as an elf or as a dwarf. I'm a noble dwarf.
Is that indigestion or is it... Oh god, not now.
Let's see. So how do I... So it looks like I've grouped these two. Does that allow me?
There, old buddy, old acquaintance. Want to team up again?
Companion. Some characters prefer to talk to your avatar. If the avatar is near, the conversation will start with them automatically.
Hey, wait a sec. It looks like you have all the... Till then.
How do I ditch these fellows? Oh, I'll probably just have to talk to him, huh?
Yes, by all means, let us partake in the art of conversation.
Separate ways for now, at least.
Are you certain you want to dismiss your companion?
Yes.
Are you certain you want to dismiss...
Your loss.
Oh, I don't feel so good.
Don't cry about it.
Is it not enough that you travel with me? Go on then, bark away. Let's see if we can...
Are you certain you want to dismiss...
Yes, I can imagine it might be somewhat difficult for you to forever be in my shadow. Go on then, play in the sun. I have actual work.
I feel like these characters would be more fun to actually be, as opposed to having them constantly berating you. Because then being that character and then talking down to all these other people that you treat like dogs.
Hey there, old buddy, old acquaintance. Well, that was easier than I thought. And I'll...
Who's gonna be the buckethead with me though? Who shall wear the bucket with me? Let's choose somebody with... What's the trait? Initiative. So wits, somebody who has high wits. I should level it up. Everybody has the same wits. 12, 12. If anything, I actually have better initiative without. I only have 10. So they should be the ones with the bucket. I'll be bucketless. As if I'm the leader. They're my bucket henchmen. Let's see, strength. She's smart. It's good constitution. So I don't know if you should maximize the traits that you already have up or try to even them out. I feel like you maximize the ones you got up. Because once you even them out, you kind of make your character less specialized, I would imagine. Increase air damage. Smart defense, leadership, self poison damage, deal, physical huntsman, increase what damage you deal, any vitality, healing magic, restoration. Oh, that should be good. Bartering. Lore Master. So she could be our designated healer based on what this says about restoration and lore person. I'll deal with, I think I'll make my guy more so specialized for persuasion and bartering. And then I'll make the other guy focus on sneaking and defense. Maybe your leadership. I should probably give her telekinesis too. Dang, he has all three in bartering? Never mind. He's the barterer. So I think I've met officially everybody that I've seen on the boat. I believe.
Bow your head, please! If we chant the endless prayer, the next divine will ascend!
Divine is dead. This is confusing. How come it switched? Did I select it? Was I having him select it? Divine is dead. This guy seems like the guy who says this.
Haven't you heard? Bishop Alexander, the Divine's own son, is God-woken. He will ascend. He will protect us from this darkness. Do not doubt that he will come into his powers at any moment, and then he shall ascend.
All this here is I'll be stealing it from the altar. Take it.
You there. You've just arrived, isn't that right? Are you quite alone?
We're quite alone. I'm in a group. I can just say there's plenty of your own kind around here. You'll manage. So retort that of course you're alone. Someone breeding is no business making friends with the wolf. Place. Why?
It's just I've a proposition. Something very worth knowing. But it's hardly a group affair. I only need one.
My friend can hear it. I want no business of it.
Oh, noble. But after the Magisters take you all, your nobility will have been for nothing. Good luck with your friends, though. Enjoy your last days in good company, won't you?
Okay. I feel like that's good for bartering.
Oh, 10 bottles of mead, or 1,000 bottles of dust.
Is that a fellow dwarf?
50 bottles of tears, oh.
If you take
hinges rust.
Take your touch powder,
The
there's in
woman
yours.
is scrabbling at her
Beware.
throat, as though she can hardly breathe.
Oh. Honors towards you.
As she catches sight of you, recognition flashes in her terrified eyes. She drops her hands from her throat and starts hyperventilating.
Ben Mist! Ifan! Ben Mist! You killed them! You killed them! He killed them all! Murderer!
She needs to not fear. Nobody give you a contract for her life. We can tell her I've come back to finish the job. Could be true.
You can't hide who you are, killer. Look! Look at him! It's him! It's the Silver Claw himself! Ifan Ben Mist! It's too...
1,000 bottles of dust.
Too tight.
50 bottles of tears old.
Stay back. Stay back. Keep that monster Ben Mist away from me.
Right hand, boy. Fella's got more right hands than an octopus.
The woman is scrabbling at her throat, as though she can hardly breathe.
Cover up. Cock your head and watch her choke. The barbarian. You okay?
Don't touch me! You're too close. This collar, this place, it's squeezing the life from me.
Squeeze back.
I can't. I can barely even catch my breath. How is it possible? 1 minute you're in the garden in the sun, the next you're here, and they've put this thing around your neck.
Her hands move again to her throat. She seems to try to make space between her neck and the collar, but there's no space to be made.
Right hand, boy.
I don't want to lose track of my
Stay
exploration
back.
so
Stay
far.
back. Keep that monster Ben Mist away from me.
The hinge is rust.
What if the dwarf slaps his knees and chest until a buoyant rhythm develops and begins to, well, not sing exactly, but chant?
They stole me boots and burned me hat, but beast of the sea will come asking for me. They locked me up with a pig and a rat, but beast of the sea will come asking for me. Oh, not bad for being off the top of me head.
He bows to an almost comical depth, then rises and laughs.
Welcome to the joy, my famed friend.
Laugh along with him. What a song. He almost had you dancing. Scowl. Sea dogs have barked out better tunes than that. Press your 4 fingers to your lips. Less attention he draws you, the better. I guess be happy with him? I don't know.
Thank you, your wisefulness. I admit it ain't one of the best, but I figured you're tired of hearing the usual shanties. Oh, I know them ones too. No shortage of beast ballads out there.
Goodbye. Thing is, I think this is the guy that guy wanted to talk to, maybe? I don't know. Chick said that there was a safe place. Kinda don't know what I'm really supposed to be doing.
When another divine was, did you say?
Hey up, the beast is back.
Ask if he would sing his rebel song. Request to hear it. Oh, that's the same guy.
Keep a name out of your mouth. When another divine was.
Easy now, old chap. It isn't my fault she's dead. Gods. The smell, though.
If we could find this little girl. Falls with the front down, immaterial, stained, torn, bleak, and burned. Do we want to believe that that chick, the daughter's still alive?
I only mean that if you think about it.
$1,000 of dust.
Guess I can resort to my journal.
Better even to puke yourself to death than get purged, don't you think? You should be
Voice.
What did you say? When another divine arises, will source change
Peace.
back? What is
With calling the ship, maybe the ones able to help me on this island, and the power of magical collar cannot be removed. Close nightmare.
So void woken are attracted to
Easy
skin
now,
culture. But why?
It isn't my fault she's dead.
When another divine arises, will
Let's see
source
place
change
where
back?
it's toxic.
What if there are no sorcerers? I'm going to give you one more chance.
Oh, the elf.
Alexander Wilson here.
Wanna go probably meet with the elf?
Yes, but this place has made you cranky. Buck up, old chap. There's plenty of singletons about.
Be sad. Oh, 10 pots of me.
My story so far.
She's much better off.
Pots of dust. Leave it, Sam. 50 bucks of tea.
Come on, chap.
Shower waters is closed.
Better even to puke yourself to death than get purged, don't you think? You should be happy for greed.
What did you say?
Now, let's not get nasty.
What do you want, freak?
Yeah. Way out. Looking around.
I got my good eye on you, bub.
What have you got to trade? Nothing.
Watch yourself.
When another divine arises, will source...
The lizard's brow knits together, then apart, and back again. He seems to be swimming deep in his thoughts, and doesn't look up as you approach.
Hmm? The ground? I don't know what you... I'm just trying to work it out. What happened? Why?
Have any goods?
Hmm? Goods? Ah, yes. Yes, of course. Have a look.
Spell book. Stained shirt. Oh, here we go. What are these flags on the map?
So this is for the delivery. Surely you'll have one.
Crumbling disaster.
Bigger coin then.
Scram, snake face.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, I'm very tired. Abominably tired. Beg your pardon.
Perhaps if those bleeding dwarves didn't eat so much.
What are the flags on here? Griff.
Griff is slowly,
this is that guy that was
methodically
trying to shake
peeling
down
the
everybody.
skin from a potato. As you approach, he looks up, setting the potato, but not the sharp little knife, down on the table.
What?
You in charge around here?
Who's asking?
Inmate have some questions. Catch across from safe herd. You might be able to help.
He smirks
Question?
and holds the little knife up to the light, watching it glint.
I'm listening.
Thugs are terrorizing the camp citizens.
Thugs? Look at it this way. People get lawless here, and we all starve.
Looking for a way out.
Can't help you there. If I could, I wouldn't be here peeling goddamn potatoes.
About the cure.
They'll cure you of your sauce. Nightshade will cure you of an headache too.
Okay. Is there a way to look at this map bigger?
I've got that special shipment you was asking after.
Everything now? Good.
Is this cat still following us? Oh, maybe the cat was just following one of the party members I had. Cavern?
A wee reprieve from the den outside.
Got you!
What was her name? Elodie?
Thank you for your help with that, thug. Humans hate us both the same here. This is so strange.
She bows.
Happy to help. Ask if she knows any way off the fort.
I hear of no escapes. The only way out is through the Magisters, through their cure. Thugs I can stand, but I fear the Magisters.
So you'd like to know who is in charge out here? Yes. How you came here.
It gives me great pain. I'm with my family. We are making beautiful magic. We are healing a tree cut down with great violence. The Magisters come. My family runs, but I fall. My son looks back. I shout to him to run. I am taken.
Who's in charge?
In this cave, we trust the healer. She is young, but she sees. She knows more than we know. In the camp, the brute Griff rules. He who gives the bread has the power. Wait, before you go. I am not here without your help. I do not forget this. For you, a prize. I save it for a special occasion, but I can think of no finer occasion than this. Thank you.
Choose my reward. Leather armor.
Got you! I got you! Shwa, shwa, shwa! Got you!
Can I choose all? No.
I know they help.
Yeah. There's so much crap. You can't join me?
Ah, my friend. What do you need?
Because I believe she's a character. She's a character you could play.
Whoever kills the other is the boss!
Guess I can talk to who's in charge.
No one tells me there are so many children in this Fort Joy. Magisters I handle, but small ones. Well, not your kind of small. You understand?
I agree.
You know what they do? They play a game called Scream. In this game, they see who screams the loudest. I feel the Divine's loss so sharply during Scream.
As you approach the young elf, Losa suddenly grabs your arm. Her hand is damp. Her face looks pale and grey.
For some characters, your companions will want to speak with privately. Forbidding this may negatively affect your relationship. However, allowing it to take Visit in any consequence. Okay.
Hey, listen, I don't know why, but I think I need to talk to this elf. You mind?
Smear up there, see what's going on. Burns, she's shaking. She's alright. Tell her she needn't ask you, the floor is hers.
She darts over to the elf without responding. They begin talking in earnest, more quietly than you can overhear.
Right-click examine a companion to check their current attitude towards you. Be aware, companions who really don't like you will leave your party. See, so I think it's best that I let those other two go, otherwise we would have been fighting. Or they just would have left anyways. Here, I can repair here.
Losa suddenly snatches up both the elf's hands and leans close to her. Her voice rises.
You have to tell me.
The whites of Losa's eyes fade to grey, then black. The colour runs into her veins, crisscrossing her skin like lightning. She keeps hold of Sahela's hands.
It rises in you even now, Losa. Do not let it. You must be strong. Be strong. Fight. Fight. You are okay. You are yours. No one else's.
Watch and listen.
Shut up. Let go. Let go. Let go. I don't want to hurt her. Don't make me.
Losa is rigid as a board, tense with the effort of holding Sahela's hands in tight, painful bunches.
Leave me alone. Leave me. I don't want to.
You are hurting me.
Losa's eyes are black. Sahela's fingers are white under her grasp.
Let me go. Please.
A sinister smile spreads across Losa's lips. She jerks the elf toward her.
Chatty, chatty elf. Chatty elf with all the answers. I wonder what your blood tastes like.
Losa, please. You must not defend her. She wakes if she is weakened. We must hurt her to protect her, you see?
I swore to help the elf. This isn't in the right mind. Stand by. Sure.
I bet the elf blood tastes like honey, like nectar, like joy itself. Let's find out.
Fight!
You must weaken her to help her.
They're wet. See, that's another thing. People being wet and then you're being close to a fire, it makes you warm. It's like little stuff like that. Jeez. Jesus. How do you know who's the enemy, really? Other than it being red, I guess. Should be able to take her, right? Shield basher. Slam that. Uh-oh.
The thing inside is strong. Very strong.
Let's see. Courage. Pin down. Cripples target character for 1 turn. Fossil strike. Movements of arrowheads. Encourage.
It is all just enough. A few more hits. She comes back to us when she is weaker.
Courage.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. What? Don't look at me like that.
So look at it. Like, say you're not looking at her like anything. If she doesn't want to talk about what just happened, that's fine by you. Tell her she almost killed an innocent girl. You look at her however you please. Hanging an arm around her shoulder and tell her to lighten up. You're happy to meet her other half. I feel like the responsible thing as a leader is to be like, look, that was kind of messed up. What's up?
I didn't do anything. It was that thing, whatever it is. It's just a visitor. It has nothing to do with me.
For her, that'll end up dead if thing picks a fight with the wrong person. Tell her if uses her arm, her legs, her weapons. Her says she's fault. You'll end up dead if it's the wrong person.
Come off it. You don't give a damn what happens to me. You're just worried that that thing will get you into trouble. It won't, okay? You can quote me on that. Let's keep moving. I want to get out of this bloody place as soon as possible.
Gonna be okay?
I'm fine. You're fine. We're fine. I just want to get out of here.
Okay.
I feel him, but I do not see him.
Can't. Let's go over here.
I feel him, but I do not see him.
Do the same to these. Hmm. 19 gold. 12 gold. So the question is, who gets the gold? Ah. They do. Give me my gold. Let's see if we can move this. Telekinesis. I think this is poison, but I can clear it. The hammer smash? And then I pop that water, which looks like it might have washed it away also. Someone with the arrow probably could have did the same thing. Let's quick save here. I wonder if there's like a mini dungeon. See, my concern with going in here is there's probably somebody in town I needed to talk to get a mission to go in here, to have a reason to. I'm sure if I go in here and complete a mission and then I talk to somebody, they'll be like, "Oh, you did what I needed to get done. Thanks." I guess for now we're exploring. It's a pie? Earth essence. Targe. It's a shield? New shield, whoop whoop. Looks like I'm over encumbered.
I feel uneasy here.
Uh-oh. Yo. Rain creates a spread of water surface in which dousing fire. Sets wet status on characters in area. The thing is, I'm not entirely sure what wet does for you or against you. Is there a restoration? Courage. Damage. Stunned. Wet. Let's see what it does. Oh god, there's another one. You're wet, more vulnerable to electric and ice attacks. Okay, so I should have did that before hitting electric. Also strike. Earth damage. Continue. Target a surface in melee radius for one turn. How much damage first added to your range weapon. So I can take a health potion. Uh-oh. I think these guys... I think we need to run. Flee. I think we probably should flee combat. They're level 3, we're level 2. Or we can even go so far as to save scum it. And do the quick save. I'll give myself one save scum. I'm still trying to feel this game out. Because oh wait, that shield though. We'll get that. We'll get the shield. I feel like I need to explore the entire town and basically exhaust everybody I need to talk to.
Ah, my friend. What do you need?
Maybe she's not the character that you can actually play? What's this?
Being compact's got its benefits.
Oh, looks like I split up. I'm alone because I'm small and can only fit in there by myself. Should I go up this?
You're cheating.
Stone hatch. What's the difference between that and this?
Being compact's got its benefits.
Forgotten cell. Lord Withermore. I want to really find out who Lord Withermore is. Level 4.
You, son of Tenax, has King Thoran come to liberate this Isle of Horrors? Brachus always feared him. He always feared dwarfish might. Oh, blessed day!
Skeleton under there? Or is that a part of his helmet? Oh, with the spears in him. Out of date, the dwarves serve queen, not a king. The Thoran is dead more than 1,000 years.
1,000 years? Can it have been so long already? Gods, how the time flies. I haven't seen a living soul in all that time. What a strange notion.
Why are you down
A
here?
wicked king it was. Brachus Rex by name. The Order of the Source Hunters discovered a great horror upon this prison isle, and I was sent to stop it. Yet my failure was absolute. I am not fit to bear the insignia of the Source Hunters any longer. Please, good sir, you must free me. Prise this spear from my chest, where it has been stuck fast for the last 1,000 years. Seize the spear. End this degradation. I beg you.
No. That's okay. I think we're fine here. I'm gonna go ahead and no. Hard pass. Hard pass, my friend. I'll take this cup of tea. Oh, nothing's... Oh, I see what happened. So, I went in through the hole, but I came out up this ladder, which then revealed this hatch, or unlocked it. Otherwise, I was like, why would you make it two? I think it's actually a good stopping point.
What do
So
you
many-
think in messing with Griff's brutes anyhow?
So many people to still talk to, so many areas yet to explore, so much experience yet to accrue. Oh wait, I need to do this. I need to rejoin my group. So apparently they're just on standby until you rejoin them.
Whoever kills the other is the boss.
Come on, guys.
Got you.
Do a hard save here. Yeah, I think this is a good stopping point. Been streaming for about 3 hours, 40 minutes. And it's almost 2 a.m. where I'm at. So yeah. Oh, what I hit? Oh god. Quit game. So yeah, that's my time. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. You're gonna have to forgive the snail's pace of the way I'm approaching this game, because the little nuances, like, you know, wet being a thing that can stack with electricity, is something that should, I guess, in the general sense of games, come inherent, but I feel like there's more of that to, like, so many more degrees, because this is based on like hardcore pen and paper RPG style aspects. Like even the crafting, it's like, it's not just put two things together, it's like a whole row of, I think it was like 6 things you can put together to craft stuff, which I guess isn't that different from some like Minecraft or other games that have crafting in it, but at the same time, that's not even the main focus of this game. This game's a RPG, hardcore. So I'm trying to take my time to acclimate myself to things that are popping up, things that can combine with other things, and get a feel for what the kind of pacing the game wants you to take. So I'm getting a feel for all that at the same time, which is a little overwhelming, but I feel myself getting... It's got the hooks in and it's pulling me in. One thing I wish I could do is, if I understood the lore better, and that's even from the standpoint of understanding the lore of a dwarf in the fantasy realm, which is typically they're looked down upon, I know that much. I know they had a great kingdom and it's always their... They've since fallen from the great, being in a, you know, great high standing civilization to a lower standing civilization. But I feel like my knowledge of that kind of lore even kind of puts me at a handicap of how I should interact and the kind of motivations I want to inject into the character and how I want to portray them. And they have clues with the traits that he has, like he's a barbarian, he's of noble blood of being a dwarf, and he's what else? He's the Beast. He's apparently this character called the Beast, which is basically some kind of captain of a ship that fought a queen, and the queen is back and he needs to take her down or something like that. So, I don't know. Maybe I should have went with a custom character so it's just a blank face, a blank mat. But I'm also interested in the story. But I guess I could have had my character befriend this guy and then we could have fulfilled his story. But we'll see. We'll see what. That might be better. So I won't have to deal with not knowing how I should inject my own motivations into this character, because I'll have a blank character too. But I've already gotten so far with this character, even though I could just speed run to this point with a brand new character if I really wanted to. We'll see. And then there's the idea of also multiplayer, and if you can switch back and forth between the two, and you find all this kind of stuff out, so I can play your friends potentially. But yeah, that's my time. If you're watching this on YouTube and the video has been updated, you can click these thumbnails at the end of the video. Yesterday I played Passepartout, the Starving Artist, where you draw art here and then you sell it to the little characters walking around for money to paint more art to sell, and so on and so forth. It's a pretty fun game. It's a challenge to draw on this little easel, but that's part of why I like it, because it's unique in that sense, and a challenge. And then before that I played Archangel in VR. I played on the HTC Vive, fun. It's on rails shooter, arcade style shooter, but felt really good to play. I really enjoyed it. I hope it makes me excited for the future of VR and games to come. But yeah, go ahead and give me a follow if you'd like to see more on all these different social media sites, also to stay up to date on news and stuff. But yeah, that's my time. I'm out. Y'all have a good Friday. If I don't see you, have a good weekend. Peace.